In 2019, Kopi Kenangan received its first outside investment of $8 million from venture capital firm Alpha JWC Ventures. 2 years in, Edward had grown the business to 20 locations. By 2019, the business had grown to more than 200 locations. And by 2022, as economies slowly picked up following the COVID pandemic, Edward and his co-founder had nearly quadrupled their store count across Southeast Asia.
Back then, I got a lot of pressure to actually just lay off all the employee and then maybe close the store temporarily. But I believe that the key for us getting out of COVID is not to close our stores, but to open more, which was really counterintuitive.
During the pandemic, Edward and his team invested heavily into building out their technology to help scale the business. And rather than being conservative, Edward chose to take advantage of the lower prices and open more locations.
We used data to open stores near the customers. We even made the investment to go inside the mall because we know that this is the best time for us to do land grabbing. So we made that investment, and that's why we were able to grow to where we are today.
Kopi Kenangan achieved unicorn status in 2021. By April 2024, the business had raised over $230 million in capital from investors across the globe. Despite the business's success, it didn't come without its own set of challenges.
Entrepreneurship for me is a constant struggle. I think it never gets easier. It only gets harder. The only thing that improves is yourself and your team. You got better at handling struggle. If you think about it, right? I have never led a company with a triple-digit revenue before. It all started with a very simple, hectic beginning where our biggest issue back then was how can we find coffee? We ran out of it. We need to use my Toyota Innova to go around the city to buy creamer or go to Bandung to buy coffee beans. So I try to learn every day how to become a better leader, how to become a better CEO, how can I lead a company of this size, right? And an even bigger size in the future. This is something that you need to do as an entrepreneur. It only gets more complicated as a business grows bigger, and I'm sure that it applies not just to Kopi Kenangan but to businesses globally as well. I think the best advice that I can give to a fellow entrepreneur is to be different. The next Starbucks is not going to look like a Starbucks. The next McDonald's is not going to look like a McDonald's. The next Google is not going to look like Google today. So you need to be radically different in order for you to compete against the incumbent. And now I'm very excited of what the future holds for us. I believe that's just the beginning of our journey. We're still very, very far to meeting our dream to become a global coffee chain, and hopefully we will be able to meet that dream within the next 4 to 5 years.
Edward hopes to expand Kopi Kenangan to 3,000 locations by 2028 and dreams of listing the business in the US one day.
In order to achieve that 3,000 number, we need to put a very strong emphasis on our international expansion. Our Indonesia business is highly profitable, but our international business is not yet profitable, right? Admittedly. But we believe that to meet our vision of 3,000 stores by 2028, we need to make that investment today.